Customs, classic cars, and trucks from all over the country and their fans journey once a year to Columbus, Ohio, and the gathering of the appropriately named Goodguys. Welcome to Dream Rides and the 20th Goodguys Nationals in Columbus, Ohio. This event features some of the sport's trendsetters, and they are masters of contour and color.
'53 Chevy Suburban. Kind of all the stuff that we've been building has been low and wide, big tires, big wheels, kind of like that look. We actually bought the truck from a body shop down in Kentucky. A friend of mine called me and said, hey, this guy's cutting this truck apart, and just lost interest in it and wanted to get rid of it. And I thought, you know, it's on the way to being something really neat and unique. So I thought, yeah, we'll go down and grab it and see if we can finish it up. 427 big block, puts out about 600 horsepower. It's got 3-speed, 400 turbo in it. You know, we talked about doing it gloss color, but we thought, you know, it's kind of what everybody's doing, and the matte finishes, you know, they're out there, but two-tone and just something different. We built the center console to run back, put the gauges in there, and just kind of, you know, custom look. The dash is a custom dash that we kind of conformed into the console, and slanting that dash downward off the windshield there. We just kind of figured that those surfing guys there that we have on the dash just kind of went with the whole theme. The truck ride's excellent. I was really surprised at how well it does ride. You know, a lot of times you build a car and it looks great, but they don't go down the road. This thing here, it drives down the road beautifully.
In the Cardinal Hall, we found a big car from the 70s that has been given a customized makeover.
Okay, it's a 1978 Dodge Magnum. Started on it 27 years ago, and we had sat down with a designer and we drew it up, and it's built pretty much the way we had it designed that long ago, but it's only been done for about a year. When I went to the first body shop, it was going to be a 90-day project, which wasn't realistic, but it made me feel good that, hey, I could, you know, have this car that I wanted to have fun with and show. And as the years went by, I'm beginning to wonder if I'd ever see it done. That's where the Mirage name came from.
I came in the middle, and so I've been supporting Jim all the way, though. Going to these car shows and having fun and showing the car, and I feel like I'm Vanna White. This is the car and this is what it's about, you know. It was pretty much, most of it was Jim's idea. The only thing that I contributed was the name. So the seats turn around so you can watch TV in the back, if you dare. I mean, it sits so low.
I've got a son and a grandson that did some work on it, and they kind of coaxed me through the whole thing too, and they are both car and truck guys. They build pickup trucks and stuff pretty much from scratch. So I wish it would have been done 20 years ago. I would have been able to get in and out of it easier.
The Goodguys put on 20 events during the year, but without a doubt, the biggest get-together is the one held here in Columbus.
You know, I think for us, Columbus is so special because it's really become a destination. It's one of those must-attend events on our schedule. People come in from over 30 states for the show this year to hang out in Columbus, be a part of what's our biggest event for the season. And being the 20th anniversary, I think that adds something special to it as well. There's a lot to take in, you're right. There's over 6,000 cars, and then you throw in the autocross and the vendor midway, which is huge, the indoor car show. There's a lot to take in. I mean, that's what we want to do, is we want to provide a full 3 days for people who are here to take it all in. We are going to open up the cutoff years for all of our shows to 87. That will bring in those younger guys that are out there that we know. Maybe they're not doing the hot rod thing, but they're into the muscle cars or the later model cars. But yeah, there's always going to be growth. I mean, I think the American love affair with the automobile is alive and well, and I think we're going to do everything in our power to keep that growing and to keep these events alive so that people can enjoy these cars.
Stay with us for more Columbus eye candy, including this wild cord that has taken a distinctive approach to an enduring classic. Dream Rides is being brought to you by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping, Sinister Products, wicked parts for wicked rides, Rocket Racing Wheels, inspired by the past, designed for the future, and by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation. Welcome back to Dream Rides. Many cars on display here at the Goodguys Nationals are mildly modified, but there are some that have undergone a radical restoration.
This is a 1937 Ford Westchester 810. Started life as a front-wheel drive four-door car. About 20 years ago, a gentleman in Indiana who had previously built Cords got the ideas, probably from archives, of putting independent wheels so that when you turn the steering wheel, not only do the wheels turn, but the fenders turn with them. It's a very unique feature of this car. Well, it wasn't a four-door, now it's a two-door. Extensive bodywork. The front end is fiberglass. Goes around. The suspension is Jaguar. It's an XJ6 Jaguar suspension with an LT1 Corvette motor with a turbo 350 transmission. It goes down the road quite well at speed, and the turning radius is a little bit wider than normal, so you need a little bit extra real estate to make a turn, but it goes very smoothly once you got the open highway. I'm happy with the way it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Time now to check out a new and innovative approach to wheel design and manufacturing.
We're really excited that we're about to launch the first dual direction flow form semi-forged wheel to the marketplace, to the automotive aftermarket. This has never been done in the automotive aftermarket, and what we've done is we're creating in the box, on the shelf, ready to ship products from 18.7 up through 18 by 12, 20 by 8.5, 20 by 10 for the pro touring and muscle car and performance market. We've got generous caliper clearances, lightweight, similar strength characteristics that you would get in a much more expensive high-dollar forged wheel. In the history of Rocket, since we were founded, we've had a relentless pursuit of performance and innovation to try to deliver value to the marketplace and not just another wheel design. And the market has really known us for hot rod and muscle car wheels, and this is a new segment for us in the pro touring market. And because of our relentless pursuit, we have developed a new category of wheels. And by that, what I mean is you've got your cast wheels, and then you've got your really expensive high-dollar forged wheels. And we found a process that actually starts with a cast wheel, which got a cast center, and we've got a spun forged outer. So when we're done, basically you've got the lightweight strength characteristics of a high-dollar forged wheel, but at a fraction of the cost. We're going to have all the parts ready to ship, and we didn't leave anything on the cutting room floor. These are ready to go. We're not leaving any market segment out for the pro touring and muscle car market. Ready to go.
One unique aspect of the Goodguys Nationals is the wide range of vehicles on display. We found a car whose builders are barely old enough to have a driver's license.
It's a 31 Ford pickup, Model A, and was put together by high school students to take out to the Grand National Roadster Show. They're never easy, but this one had a real tight time restraint. The vehicle was originally set up. We had another one to go out to Pomona to compete for the Grand National Roadster Award, Most Beautiful Roadster. And the gentleman that was working with us to build that car had some issues come up, and at the last minute we weren't going to be able to go. Well, we'd already booked plane rides and trucks and everything else to go, and we got everything but a car. And so in July of 2013, we didn't have a car, and we had everything set for January 14 for us to be there. So in 5 months, we had to take that vehicle and make it. It literally started with the frame, and here we go. And so that's the kind of the saga of where it came from, but that's all built entirely by high school students and painted and assembled and everything with it. The only thing we had to send out was the interior, and we have since improved on that so we can do our own now. But this was one that we did send out, and on a time restraint, we had to make a second frame to match the frame that's under it, bolt the cab to it, so everything fit exactly the same as it fit on the real one, and ship it to the interior so we could keep going on the car without having it held up. And so that was another project that we got into that ordinarily would have happened, but it was a tight time restraint, and we made it. So that was the main thing, and it did make the finals. Our kids do 1/3 scale models, and they do 1/5 scale models. That truck was drawn by a 15-year-old, just as you see it, before we ever started on it. He drew it 3 weeks before we started on the truck.
Dream Rides will be right back, and we'll show you a Chevy that spent more than half a century in hiding. It's truly a dream ride. Welcome back to Dream Rides at the 20th Annual Goodguys Nationals. While there are thousands of mind-boggling machines here this weekend, it would be a safe bet that many have relied on recycled parts, the kind you pick up at swap meets. Well, our next car did not need any used parts at all.
Well, what we have here is a 1963 Chevrolet Impala, and normally that's like, what's the big deal? The big deal about this car is this is an original car. This car came from a dealership in Nebraska. They held an auction back in 2013 of all of the guys' inventory, and the inventory included several vehicles that have never been titled that were stored indoors at the dealership. And so this is one of those. It's a very unique car. We bought it through the auction. We brought it back. We cleaned it up. We've done no touch-up paint, no body work, nothing on the exterior. We just buffed it and cleaned it up on the exterior. The interior, the plastic from the factory was still on the seats. So as a result of that, the interior obviously didn't need any work. We even debated about whether to take the plastic off, but we decided let's make it look like it's supposed to look. So that was our basic philosophy. And then we debated about whether to get it running. And if you think about a car sitting for 50 years unattended, you know, the radiator was pretty well shot, the carburetor, fuel pump, so it needed some simple work. We did that simple work and we got it running. So the car is here. We've shown it all over the country, literally. It's got 11.4 miles on it, and since we've had it, we put a few hundred feet on it, moving it in and out of the trailer. Okay, that's the essence of it. It even has the original tires from the factory, so the whole thing's the real deal. And once people see it, they realize, you know, my goodness, I can't believe it. It's a completely unrestored original car.
Today's engines with serpentine belts have so many components to run that a strong and stylish system is needed.
At Sinister Products, we design and engineer all of our serpentine systems to be as tight into the engine and as far back as we can possibly get them. They all come with our patented and proprietary tensioner system, which is your only point of tensioning on these, which makes it a very simple but yet efficient system. We've tested our tensioners on engines in excess of 2,500 horsepower to measure belt deflection and tensioner lag with almost zero. So our systems don't care whether you're running a 200 horsepower engine or a 2,000 horsepower engine, they're going to function just as well. Well, if you look at the system, you'll see that everything is within the silhouette of the engine. Nothing is sticking out, nothing is sticking up. Everything's in and back as far as we can get it. So in the hot rod and street rod market, with something such as the LS3, if this engine fits, this system will fit. Everything is lifted up. As you see, the alternator and the AC compressor are higher up. They're not down below, so if you have frame clearance issues, you won't have any problems with that with this system. All right, these are some of the other products we manufacture for the LS series. We manufacture front covers, which you see here, and a wide array of valve covers, such as this series here, which is all for your LS engine if you've relocated your coils. We also manufacture our hidden coil valve covers that actually hide the coils inside the cover, making it for a very neat appearance, and it really sets off the look of an LS engine. Any questions you may have on application or many of the new products we're constantly releasing, please visit our website and let us know if there's any information you need.
Let's check out a 53 Nomad that has gone through several builds and rebuilds during its life as both a family hauler and a wicked wagon.
Start off life as two 1953 handyman station wagons and a 53 sedan. And so there were three donor cars basically. And we took a stock handyman chassis, boxed it, and then started building the car, morphed it into a 53 Nomad station wagon. My original idea was to build a 54 sedan delivery Nomad. So that was what, and I started looking for a basic car. And I finally found one in Reading, Pennsylvania. And I was flipping through a custom car magazine one day and I see a 53 Phantom Nomad wagon, which is basically my idea. Somebody had already done it. When I looked at the contact information for the guy who owned the car, he lived 4 miles from my house. So the car I was looking for all over North America and Canada turned out to be in a garage 4 miles from my house. And I called him to see if he would help me build my sedan delivery Nomad. And he had just put a for sale sign on the phase 1 car. And so he said, why don't you make your life simple and come over and buy the car? And I left the house and my wife said, don't you dare come back with another car. And 2 hours later, I came back with another car. So. We kept some of the traditional stuff that still has the stock steering wheel in it instead of finding a street rod steering wheel. The knobs are all stock. And instead of dropping a big crate motor in it, we put a 1964 Impala 327 with this slight bore and a cam. It's got a 61 Corvette intake manifold with 2 Carter 4 barrels and 58 fin valve covers. So it looks like a 60s 327 Corvette motor basically. I finished the car Wednesday, and today's Friday, so I'm happy with it right now. But as I live in it and drive it, I'm sure there's going to be some things that I might do differently. You're never finished, right?
There's more Dream Rides to come, including a stylish Skylark with a rare pedigree. Stay with us. Dream Rides is being brought to you by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Inland Empire Driveline, drive shafts that make a difference. Lizard Skin, spray your way to a cooler, quieter ride. And by Z-Mags, the one product for your engine, transmission, and fuel system. Welcome back to Dream Rides at the Ohio Expo Center. For this next slice of the 20th Goodguys Nationals, we're going to turn the Dream Rides time machine back to the fabulous 50s.
It's a 1950 Chevy Styline Deluxe Coupe, and I bought it about 6 years ago from an elderly gentleman, so we started an evolution of it. That's why we've termed it the Evolution. And right now it's pulling a 74 Vet engine, about 400 horse, and anything that doesn't move is chromed. I never have been a real strong opponent of red, so when I went down to the painter, our son's an artist, and he'd done some renderings of it black with red scallops, and we got down there and we got to talking about how hard it is to keep black clean and detail it, so we did a reversal. We did the candy apple red with the black pearl scallops. Said we took the interior completely out and took the back seat and cut it in half, took a section out of it, built the console all the way from the front to the back, put in all digital gauges, welded the glove box shut, refinished it, padded the dash. So we changed the interior completely, put Dakota digital gauges in it. Every car here is unfinished because you're always going to find something. You come to this show and you see something like, wow, I never thought of that, or I wanted to correct that. And you go home and you do it. And so you're never happy, you're always trying to change it. If I want to stay married, I'm not changing the color because this is going to stay it.
Many of the vehicles here this weekend aren't locked away in a trailer or garage. They're driven, and that can put their driveline at risk. Here's some solutions to common problems.
Here at Inland Empire Driveline, we use a variety of materials for drive shafts. We use steel for direct drive transmissions, automatic and manual. We use aluminum for overdrive transmissions, automatic and manual. and we use carbon fiber for those troublesome vehicles that have built-in resonance problems. Here we have two different size drive shafts. This one's 3-inch, this one's 3.5. The reason that there are differences has to do with the length they have to span. At some point, this size will explode, so we go to a bigger size to make the bridge from the rear end to the transmission. Available sizes in aluminum are 3, 3.5, 4, and 5-inch diameter. Universal joints connect the transmission yoke with the drive shaft and the drive shaft to the rear end. They come in different sizes. We use this size for street tires, 500 horsepower, and this size for everything else through maybe 1,000 horsepower and all of the drag strip applications. The biggest mistake people make when installing universal joints is that they over-tighten U-bolts. All you need is to come down evenly until a lock washer just flattens and give it 1/8 of a turn, and you're all done. This has just been a brief look at some of the things we do at Inland Empire Driveline. For a more detailed look, check out our website. In the education zone, you'll find a lot more detailed information.
Our final car here at the Goodguys Nationals is a 1954 Buick Skylark with an interesting history.
It's a 1954 Buick Skylark, and I've had it since 2002. No, I bought it. It was all primered, had 95,000 miles on it. One owner, guy had it, but he had it all primered, and I bought it off of the guy who was doing the restoration. I pulled the body off. I had the frame totally cost front end on the front. I bought a LS1 motor with 460 transmission, and I put a Corvette rear end. For the front end, well, he started out, he worked on it probably 3 or 4 different times. I'd take it in, he'd get a little bit done. And that treaty took me 15 years to get it out. And then finally I got to where I needed to get it done. He took the whole car in, took it all back apart, and done it from there. He's done the inside, he's done the console, he's done it all the fabricating on it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It handles good. He won't let me drive it. I haven't got to drive it yet, but you know, that's all right. I'm just kidding. But it rides good, it sounds good, and I'm totally pleased with the car.
That's all the time we have for this Goodguys edition of Dream Rides. And as we say goodbye Columbus, we're heading south to Louisville to check out what's happening at the NSRA Street Rod Nationals. See you then!